Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. Today is October 7th, Technology Drop-In Thursday. We're going to be taking a look at some fun stuff as always, and some cool news with Google and Google Forms for anyone that uses that. Google actually is now going to save your progress, which is kind of cool because I know a lot of people I've talked to, they end up building these huge forms and then in the end, like they expect people to fill them out and come back and stuff. So we'll talk a bit about that. So here's our agenda items that are going to be coming up here. I'll just put the screen on a little bit longer. I'm going to start off first for anyone that's using a Chromebook. I just read an announcement today that on November 1st, the Android apps for Office will not be supported on Chromebooks. Not sure why, that doesn't make any sense, but whatever. So anyone that's using a Chromebook now, you won't be able to use those Office apps through the Android Play Store or the Google Play Store. You'll have to use the website. Now, I know some people are going to go, oh, that's awful, but the versions of Office and PowerPoint and all that stuff are not too bad for web. And I mean, they're not parity with the desktop apps, but quite frankly, there's a lot of stuff in there that the desktop apps just aren't going to apply with. So you can still make good use out of them. And I'm pretty sure that the Android apps aren't going to be parity either. So that's something to think about. And as I mentioned in the past before, anytime that we've got those web apps that are being used by Microsoft, they actually add new features to the web version before they roll them out to the desktop and the mobile apps. So it's actually a good place for them to be. But I was just talking to someone from our tech support, and they said there's a lot of students that are making use of Chromebooks and stuff. So this is something that you might want to let them know about. Visio is available for faculty and staff. So Visio, it does charting, it does diagrams and stuff like that. If you log into the portal, so portal.office.com, it should show up at the bottom. If it doesn't, click down here where it says all apps and launch it. And Visio looks a lot like this. It's one of these things where you can do flow charts, these different diagrams, your processes and that. Now, this is a version that's installed with the Office 365. It is a browser-based version, so it's not the whole desktop app. The desktop app does bring a lot more functionality. So if you're an advanced user and use this a lot, you may want to look at that. However, we have to pay for that desktop app, or each individual does. So if you need that, you have to put a request in through the Help Center, and there's a form to fill out. Your budget code gets charged, and then you'll get the full desktop app. For a lot of us that don't spend a lot of time in here.
Is the desktop app free
Sorry?
now?
What's that?
Sorry.
No, the desktop app is not free. Never has been. The web version is free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The web version, though, is limited. There's some functionalities in there, and I'm not a big Visio guy, so I don't spend a lot of time in here. I know we do have requests for that. But yeah, the web version is free. It is limited. If you need the other features that you're missing, I think there's ways of tying some of this data to storage. So like if I have a spreadsheet or some kind of database, it'll do that and attach to the flow chart and use that data in there. I do not think the web version does, and that's one of those things that the desktop would have to do. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not a Visio guy, but if you need Visio, play around with it. And then if it doesn't do what you need, then you can go and order it through the Help Center. Presenting Google Documents to Google Meet. So we've talked about this in the past, how if you have got a Teams running like right now, I can use a PowerPoint slide. And when I go to present, there's a button there that says present to the team meeting that you're in right now. Google's done the same thing. I mean, it's been around for a while. I just don't think I've ever mentioned anything. But if I go to meet.new, and I'm just going to open up this Google meeting here real quick, and I'm going to mute this before everything goes to heck. So there's my Google Meet that I'm in. I'm going to go back to this original document that I've been using, and off to the side here, it says present to meeting. So what this is going to do is take this one tab, and it's just like as if I'd gone and selected the meeting icon and then went to find the right window and stuff like that. Here it's just a one way of going the other direction, that's all. And that just ties in exactly into the document here. If I scroll down there you can see the changes there. So it's been, like I said, it's been around for a while, but it is a nice way when you've got, just like I have now, I'm working on this document and I have a lot of windows and a lot of tabs open. It's a really easy way for me to start sharing that exact tab that I want to work with. And as I mentioned, PowerPoint does the same thing. So you can always look into that too. Google Forms saves the progress. Yes, it does. So here we go. I'm just going to do a quick refresh on this screen. So you can see I've got my name in here already. I'm going to do a quick refresh. There was an article I submitted to the website. Notice my name is still there. And up here it says draft restored. There's actually 3 different icons. I've got pictures of them in the story on the website that says, available, draft saving, draft restored. What this means is that I can go fill out part of this and then come back and continue where I'm at. Now, here's the thing. It only saves for 30 days. So if you're after 30 days, it's not going to save. It only saves if you're logged in with a Google account. So whether it's McEwen account, whether it's your personal Gmail account, doesn't matter as long as it's a Google account of some sort. If someone does not have a Google account and tries to do this, it will not save their progress. But this is kind of nice because I know there are sometimes people put in like paragraph questions and they, rather than tell them ahead of time, you need to think of 300 words why you want this job. Now they have to go back and kind of research that. That's kind of handy. I still always tell people that when you're filling out forms and stuff, you have a page first where you put in all the requirements and what you need from them. And then the form is the last step of the process. So they should only need to go to the form after they already know you need to have a document created, you need to upload your resume, blah, blah, blah. They should not be going into the form to find that out. Cool. Did I lose my video? I don't know. Looks like I might have. That's okay. I'm not that special. Whiteboard, Microsoft Whiteboard. So you can launch the whiteboard from within a meeting. So if I pull up this meeting and I go under my under the sharing here, one of the things I can share is the whiteboard. So I can share directly from there. This function just rolled out in the last couple of days, and I think the connections are still trying to get together. Anytime I try and share it directly from the team meeting, I get error messages. So I always find Microsoft will release something and then release the other parts over the next 2 or 3 days. So I suspect by next week, this will be all cleaned up and you'll be able to share it directly from Teams. However, here we go. Whiteboard, which is also available on that list of apps that we talked about before, but they've added some extra features here. So I can now create a single note. So I'm going to create a single note here and I put that in. Then of course, just go write my text and it'll show up there. One of the things I like is note grids. And so what it kind of says is, hey, you're going to be taking more than one note. Let's do this. Let's put this over here. And there we are. We've got 6 different notes. And I can go in here, start typing here, like the Zoom function. I'll start typing. I hit tab, which you can see outlines the next one. Then I hit enter. Whoops, try that again. Enter. Then I'm typing on the next cell. Come on, scroll up. Enter. There we are. Tab, enter. So you can use that quickly without having to create 6 or 7 of these. And as soon as I click off to the side here, whoops, come on. Oh, you're making a liar out of me. Stop it. The last time I did this, it zoomed out. So let me try this again. I'll just use my finger on my mouse and I'll zoom out. Text, guess what it does? Text. Shapes, same thing. You can use these different arrows and stuff like that. You can pick different colors when you put them in play. So there's the outline, there's the fill, make it a bigger size, all that kind of fun stuff. Reactions, thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm not going to go through all this stuff. Images and templates. I kind of like the template function here. So with that, they kind of say, hey, what are you doing? And we're going to have some of these layout already created for you to look after that. One that I thought was kind of cool for icebreakers, whereas I think it was under games. Give me a second here. Yeah, 2 truths, 1 lie. So this is a great icebreaker for any kind of workshop or anytime you've got people in there. But what's nice about it is it's got all the things in play. It even gives you a little bit of an example. Come on here. So go away. So the example would be my name. I would put in my 2 my one truth and my two lies, and then everyone using reactions would come in here and do thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. So that way we can count and everyone gets a chance to vote on it. So there's all sorts of cool templates that are available to play with. Definitely worth checking that out. And that eventually, like I said, will be built in and cleanly edited and available through Teams. Oh, okay. I threw this Apple Keynote in. I don't know how many people actually use Keynote, but one of the neat functions that they've done is so Keynote, for those that don't know, is an Apple app that does PowerPoint, right? It just does presentations and stuff. One of the neat things that it's done, and I know Microsoft is doing it with PowerPoint, eventually you'll be able to bring like your head and present it on the screen, but Apple did it first, so it sucks to be you, Microsoft. But what you can do is you can bring in, as you're doing your slides, I can bring in my video. So it kind of recreates what we're trying to do. Oh, look at that, it's a different angle. What we're trying to do through Teams with that presenter mode. But I can create this, and as I go to different slides, it's going to still do what I want. There's my slide. I can create this and have a template that I use all the way out, so I have the same thing. But my videos can be in different places per slide. So this one here's kind of nice. What I really like about it is I just quickly grabbed a graphic, threw this on there for my video, and then I also have my iPhone. Whoops, we don't need to see that. So there's my iPhone. It's now here. So I can do a presentation and go through and do all this and go through and show you what my screen looks like and all the fun stuff in there. So I find this is actually a nicer tool in some ways for presenting. I can see myself using this a little bit more and sharing this out because it does give me more screens, because I could put in 2 or 3 cameras. I could have different cameras from different locations showing up on here, depending on what I'm trying to do. And I suspect for those of us that are using iOS 15, the next version will allow screen sharing from the mobile device. And I'm willing to bet the way that this Keynote plays is going to be able to screen share really clean. So that way, instead of trying to use this item here and work on it, I'm going to be able to use something else and still be able to show both of those screens as well as any other video sources and do all sorts of cool stuff. Anyway, something to play around if you're in the Apple land. And I think that is it for today. Let me quickly go back when I find my screen. Here we go. There we go. Yep, that's it. Let's see, any questions? I have one question or comment. Got to run. Okay, no, all good. All right, I guess that's it. All right, anyone got any questions they want to ask on camera? Okay, then I'm going to stop the recording. And then if you have any questions, we can chat then.